Good morning and thanks for choosing Fox 10 News on this Saturday morning. I'm Asha Staples. Happy 4th of July to you at home. Checking in first now with meteorologist Matt Barentine joining us from his home. Like that tie, Matt. What can you tell us for this 4th of July weekend weather-wise?
Well, we're going to have to be dodging some storms. There's just no way around that. I always kind of kid that it always rains on the 4th of July, and it does generally in some parts of our area, but we got pretty good coverage most likely here for today and for tomorrow as well. So let's go ahead and check that out. First off, we'll start off with the temperatures that we're experiencing outside. It is muggy here for us, as you would imagine. 72 in Mobile, 74 in Gulf Shores, Pensacola, 73 in Evergreen. That's pretty typical, though. Nothing unusual about that. The good news is we're starting out quietly on the radar here this morning, so that's some great news. That won't stay that way all day, but nonetheless, we're starting out pretty quiet. There's some showers offshore, and that's where those morning showers will mostly stay here to begin the day. So here we are, first half of the day, very quiet. Noontime, you can see, I don't know, 1 or 2 showers. It doesn't look too bad at lunchtime. So the first half of the day, we do just fine. But then as we go in the afternoon, here we go. Things begin bubbling up, especially as we go later on into the afternoon. There'll be a number of showers and storms around. The coverage should be pretty good at around 70% or so of us will likely see some rain. Now, it doesn't rain for you all day long. These things tend to be fairly brief, so we just got to be flexible and work around them. If you're out there working on the grill and you hear the thunder, just come in for a few minutes, let the thing pass by, then get back out there and finish things off. That's what we're going to be looking at today. Temperatures, hey, the temperatures won't be so bad. We'll top out in the upper 80s and begin to come down through the afternoon due to the rain. So that's one nice thing about the rain, but just expect the rain to be fairly heavy at times, obviously, but not for very long. And then there'll be lots of lightning with these and wind gusts likely up to around 50 miles an hour in some of these storms. So watch out for them. And like I said, be flexible. More on your forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
And we begin this morning with breaking news. We continue to ask questions this morning about a shooting on St. Stephen's Road. Mobile police tell us a man in his 20s was pronounced dead on the scene last night with a gunshot wound. The victim has not been identified by police, nor have they named a suspect in the case just yet. So we have reached out to them. We're working to get more information for you, so we'll be sure to update you once we have it. Hoover police investigating a shootout in River Chase Galleria Mall. The shooting claimed the life of an 8-year-old boy who died after being transported to a hospital. At least 3 other people were also injured.
We spoke with the mother of 8-year-old Rhoda Gills, who confirmed to us he was a victim. Today, he had dozens of people coming out to show support for his family outside of Children's Hospital. We also spoke with an eyewitness who hid in the children's store and saw it all unfold.
And then I just heard the shooting, and then they told us like to hide in the closet, so I just took off running because I was so scared.
I reached out to Deandra Ellis. Her mother hid in the children's store at the time of the shooting as well and called her as everything was going on.
Shot rang out that sounded like a cannon, and everybody just kind of took shelter. The store manager did close the store down immediately, and as they were viewing things on the camera, they could see the little boy who was laying on the ground with blood coming out of him, and also the mother of the young child was knocking on the window saying, "Help, my son is dead."
Overall, many are hoping this doesn't wane a bad light in the community.
Time for our community to come together and mourn and grieve with the family, and also not to have counterproductive conversation as it relates to the Black Lives Matter movement.
And switching gears a bit locally, we're learning new details into a 3-alarm apartment fire at Serenity Apartments on Azalea Road. It happened back in May. Right now, investigators say they have evidence that this was an arson. According to Mobile Fire Rescue, at least 16 apartments were impacted in that fire. 8 of them completely burned out and the others damaged with smoke and fire, leaving multiple families displaced. The city of Mobile honored 3 people for heroic actions for helping more than 20 people get out of the burning building. Investigators are asking anyone with information about the fire to come forward. And switching gears, also Florida seeing a spike in COVID-19 cases, and now masks are mandatory in Pensacola and could become mandatory in the entire state. Chris Guardado has the story.
It's getting very, very serious. and we need to take serious steps. I don't know if you know this, but I had a meeting with all the hospitals, but ICUs are filling up.
Dr. Todd Husty, medical director for Seminole County EMS, tells us the startling climb in Florida COVID-19 cases may be because some Floridians are choosing not to wear masks. Some Democrat lawmakers say Governor Ron DeSantis is partially at fault.
Governor Ron DeSantis opened up the state too early. And as a result, many people are suffering.
State Rep Anna Escamani is one of the 10 lawmakers who signed this letter to Governor DeSantis on Friday. It asks him to issue a statewide mask mandate to curb the rapid spread of coronavirus.
That there are folks that are still not taking this seriously. And sometimes it takes a mandate for folks to actually take it seriously to practice these CDC guidelines on reducing COVID-19.
DeSantis is reluctant about their request. His office sent us a statement responding, saying in part, Governor DeSantis has proven that if you inform residents of the risks and provide them with the important information that will keep them safe, they will do the right thing, which is how Florida previously flattened the curve and will do so again. That was successful without imposing a statewide mask mandate.
And Mobile and parts of Mobile County, face masks are required in public. The Mobile City Council passing the ordinance on Wednesday 6-1. Children 10 and under are exempt, as well as people with medical issues that may have trouble breathing with a face covering. Under the mandate, you don't have to wear a mask if you're outside in a park or open area and are following social distancing guidelines. The fines are $50 for first offense and $100 for subsequent offenses. But Mobile police are encouraged to issue warnings and hand out face masks instead, trying to work with the public on this new ordinance. And while there has been some pushback, most people tell us they get it and plan to comply.
It's a good thing. I mean, in order to get ahead of this virus, we got to wear the mask. We got to protect each other and ourselves, actually.
I think we should have did it a long time ago. Yep. I'm an essential worker.
Meanwhile, Mobile County's health officer issued a mandate requiring a similar face mask mandate in unincorporated areas of Mobile County and encourage other cities to do the same. So far, the city of Saraland issuing a statement on social media saying that they don't have a plan to implement a face mask covering at this time. But of course, we'll keep you updated if that does happen to change. And there are still some questions about face coverings, what they are and where to wear them. This is how things looked mid-afternoon in downtown Mobile Friday when public face coverings were still voluntary. FOX10 News talked with some employees at restaurants and asked if they thought the new ordinance would cut down on business.
I don't think it's going to make a lot of difference. We've had good customers come in here, so I don't think it's going to make that big of a difference.
The mask ordinance can only help, people stay safe, and, we're doing our part by keeping our employees safe and following all of the guidelines provided by the CDC and the health department.
Under the ordinance, you don't have to wear a face covering while eating or drinking at a bar or restaurant, but servers and employees who interact with customers will have to. However, restaurants and bars may require customers to do so on their own. And the city of Pritchard is one step closer to having a mask mandate of its own. The city's public safety committee passing an ordinance. It now moves to the entire council for a vote, and that decision expected as early as Tuesday. The order would require everyone over the age of 10 to wear a face covering in public. First-time violators would only get a warning, and further disciplinary action would be up to the city administration. A Baldwin County assisted living facility confirms one of its residents tested positive for coronavirus, posting on the Facebook pages for the Berinity of Daphne and the Berinity at Fairhope say as of yesterday, the resident in question has been quarantined at a local hospital away from other residents and associates. The facility says it's following CDC guidelines and taking additional precautions. And the start of the holiday weekend not bringing good news about COVID-19 cases here in Mobile. The health department reporting 102 new cases yesterday. This now the 6th day in a row reported cases have been over 100. And Dr. Randy Murphy said the department continues to get complaints about workers not wearing face masks at restaurants and other establishments.
Just using the iscomplaints@mchd.org email address, there have been 64 complaints just to that email address, and we have a couple others that we're receiving complaints on.
Murphy says when the department gets complaints, officials contact the business owner and make sure they're informed about the requirements. If you need to file a complaint for yourself, here's the email on your screen. It's iscomplaints@mchd.org. The health department asks that you provide your name, address, telephone number when you send in a tip. And the coronavirus not scaring off many people from the beach, as today is expected to be one of the busiest beach days of the year if the rain stays away. Now, this video from yesterday in Gulf Shores giving us a glimpse of what it'll look like this weekend. Beach town businesses like the Lost Magnolia ready to take advantage of the crowds, but having to make changes to keep people safe.
I'm worried about the weather a little bit, but if people are in town, they're going to be out and about finding something to do. So hopefully we'll get to see a lot of the crowds.
Gulf Shores Mayor Robert Kraft says there is a zero tolerance enforcement for Alabama's Safer at Home order this weekend. Any person or business who does not follow social distancing requirements could face a fine of up to $500 or have their business license suspended. Everyone is strongly encouraged to wear face coverings in public areas.